Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today we're going to be talking about inventory shortages. You know, it's something that's out in the industry, it's kind of worldwide. I just finished watching a nice video there from Neil at Messick's. He did a fantastic job talking about what is it and isn't available in the American market. So I thought I'd bring a little bit of the Canadian perspective to it, talking about what is and isn't available with Kubota right now. So first we're going to start talking about is the Kubota mowers. When talking about the Kubota mowers, you know, whether that's the zero turns, the T series, or the GRs, all very tough to get. Whenever we talk about the zero turns themselves with the gas models, we've been informed that there's been a little bit of an engine shortage depending on the Kawasaki's or the Kohlers. Again, so that's bumped our lead times out from the standard 6 months to 8, 9, 10, 11 months. So basically now if we haven't ordered for next spring, we're out of luck. It's going to be towards fall before they even arrive. So yeah, so saying that, there's still quite a few out there. They were slow to come in the spring, but all the orders were filled. So again, the demand has been high and supply low. So going to your local dealer, there may be some models that may not be available or not really seen, but it's hit or miss between dealers as to what they ordered and what is still available. But they all did come in the spring is the big thing. After that, whenever you jump to the T series, again, you won't see us standing beside any here because we are sold out. So again, that demand has been really high. Lead times now have jumped quite a long ways to even over a year lead time on them, and what we've been informed by Kubota Canada is that it's getting the hoods, is they can assemble the whole machine, just don't have hoods available for them. You'll see a bit of a backlog on them, whether it be this fall or next spring. There's still going to be a shortage of that. And last but not least, when talking about mowers, is one of my favorites is the GR. No reason has been given yet, but we have seen quite a few delays right from the spring right straight through. We're still waiting on a few mowers that were supposed to arrive in May or June and still have not hit the ground yet. So, and the ones that were on order have been bumped 3, 4, 5 months out. So again, going to be a little bit of a shortage of them heading into fall and early winter for if you're looking to put a snowblower on it. So be mindful of that if you're looking to shop for it. Hopefully that gives you a quick update of what the mower situation here is locally in Ontario or Canada. So when talking about the Kubota side-by-sides, you know, you're talking about the RTV series from Kubota. Virtually non-existent. Whether you're looking right at the entry-level 520, right up to your diesel Dash X's, there is just none out there. Again, pretty much everything's been pre-sold, or on the flip side of that, has been pre-sold and hasn't come in. I know for this dealership, our 520 situation is pathetic, to say the least. You know, we were able to retail quite a few in the spring, and we still haven't seen 90% of them. We've only seen 2 of them so far, so really bogged things down on that. And we're still not expecting, it's going to be, you know, ones that were originally supposed to arrive in March and April, still aren't expected to arrive until November, December. So it doesn't matter the dealership you're going to visit, it's going to be virtually the same situation with no inventory of the 520s. And then whenever you move up to the diesels, back in the spring, we got hit with, well, I guess Texas got hit with the storm there, that snowstorm. So that really slowed down the Line X, which then slowed down the assembly line, which then with the increased demand has left a very, very short of units. And again, with massive delays of now 6 to 8 months from orders that were originally supposed to arrive, you know, whether it be spring or early summer, either not arriving this fall and being pushed right straight to next spring. So again, if you're looking for a side-by-side, very unlikely you're going to find one around with a very limited market available. And again, one of the reasons they gave not only was the Line X not being available, but also the foam for the seats as being a reason given for some of the slowdowns. Again, whether that's true or not, no idea, but that's what the reason Kubota Canada has given, or one of the reasons they've given for the slowdown dealing with the RTV. So if you're going to be going out to look for an RTV, expect to wait anywhere from 3 to 6 months for one to be available. And if it's shorter, that's fantastic, but that'll be your average wait time. So now let's move on, talking about the construction lineup. So when talking about the Kubota construction lineup, whether that be your skid steers, R series, or excavator lineup, it's virtually non-existent out there. The reasons for this is demand has been extremely high with very limited supply. So the lead times on the construction lineup have gone through the roof. Some models now are upwards of 19 months waiting on them. So again, if you're looking or you're shopping for it, don't expect to really see anything at your local dealership, as it probably will be sold. If you are looking to order now, and you should have it by spring. But in between time is if you're hoping to go to your local dealership and see it, it's just not going to happen more than likely. Even for us, you know, we usually carry about 15 models in stock. You know, it's all lined up here nicely facing the highway. We're down to, well, one unit that just came in this morning and one that's actually sold. So you just won't see too many out there. You know, we're even hearing it from aftermarket suppliers, you know, whether it be tracks and buckets, that their lead times are going through the roof, as you know, potentially they're getting stuff from China and it's just not arriving or being produced. Basically, that supply chain is very, very strained on the construction lineup, and that is through, you know, doesn't matter the color of the excavator. It's pretty well similar stories right through the whole industry. But Kubota is no different, because even if the excavator does come in, more than likely you're going to see delays on a thumb and a bucket, and then you may have to go aftermarket to try and fill that order, as Kubota won't have it available. So yeah, you're kind of jumping around to fill orders, but basically it's the same as everybody else. Just be patient and order early if you're looking to get something. So now we're going to jump to some of the smaller implements coming from Land Pride. So when talking about Land Pride, it's very, very hit or miss. As you'll see, this rack behind me is usually full of rotary cutters with another dozen or so out front. We've got zero coming in. Even though we ordered this time last year, what has come in has been sold, and we've double, triple ordered to try and get some for inventory, and they just haven't come in and won't be coming in until next spring. And that's hit or miss right across the board. It doesn't matter whether it's blades or box blades, grapples. We've had huge delays in grapples. You know, stuff that was originally supposed to arrive last March still has not come in, and potentially could be another couple weeks before it comes in. So it's kind of hit or miss along the Land Pride lineup. Even though we've ordered more and more, that demand just keeps increasing, especially on the smaller stuff, and just not coming in for stock. If you're looking to shop around, you may find some at your local dealership or some within that area. But again, we're even seeing that being sold out. Whenever Land Pride now is really focused down and narrowed down their selection on what's available, they've suspended ordering on quite a few items to really narrow down what they're going to produce for the next year. So really pay attention to that. There's some oddball items that just won't be available for another year or two, whether that be like a ditch bank mower or the RCR 1884, the dual-headed cutter. They just won't be out there. And there's quite a few implements that just aren't available, won't be available for quite a while. And then even down to your box blades and blades, whether you see them or not, you're best to see your local dealership, put your name on one that's either there or coming in if you're looking for something for this fall or into next spring. I would imagine that we're going to see a very limited supply, as well as you're probably going to be seeing some price increases in it, as most of these things are just straight material, raw materials, being steel, and seeing some surcharges put on that. You know, Kubota Canada does a great job of absorbing that and not passing along everything to the customer, but they can only do so much. So I would definitely anticipate some price increases this fall in some of that material, some of those implements, I should say. So yeah, so now let's jump over to talking about trailers and culvert. Kubota has the K-Haul lineup, you know, and it's made by Weber Lane here in Eastern Canada. We're lucky enough to have a couple Weber Lanes behind us. One thing to know about trailers is they're virtually non-existent out there. Lead times have been getting longer and longer with less and less supply out there, and prices accordingly have been going through the roof. So it's loud out here. Still another truck coming. Here's some more piggies for you. We've been pretty fortunate with Kubota. You haven't seen those price increases, but they are coming. Again, with these Weber Lanes that are behind me, the reorder point on them is over a year. So again, this is going to continue for quite a while. So kind of get used to that. But hopefully hopefully we see the prices kind of leveled out and we can continue selling them. But as for right now, well, to give you an idea, the steel surcharge is now up over 25% for any incoming orders. So hopefully that levels off or starts to decrease here shortly. But as for supply, I really don't see anything being available till at least next spring to really shorten those timelines down. But especially if you're looking for a custom order of a trailer, expect to wait quite a while. So yeah, so that kind of it about trailers. Now let's skip to something that we deal with here, and that's your culvert, drain tile, and septic tanks, which are all kind of raw material that are extremely hard to get. So one thing we sell here is a lot of culvert, whether it's for commercial applications, for road building, or for residential, for your driveways or trails through the bush. We sell a ton of it. The thing to know about it is it's 100% raw material. It's just corrugated steel pipe. So some of the factories have been shut down in Eastern Ontario, Western Quebec, due to lack of material, which is, I wouldn't say scary, but it's kind of very, very unusual to hear that as a whole factory being sent home because there's just nothing to build, because there's nothing they can actually put their hands on. So that kind of gives you an idea of the shortages you were seeing out there. It's just not on tractors or anything. It's through industry-wide and it's worldwide. Whenever you're dealing with something that is 100% exclusively steel and not being available. You know, after that, we sell septic tanks here. So you know, if you're putting in a house, you kind of need a septic tank in the rural areas. Normally we stock about 40 of them here, and we're down to 5. The demand is up and supply is extremely limited. Again, it's 100% plastic, just molded plastic. And again, the delays are just getting in raw material. You're going to see some slowdowns on that. Not that it won't be available, but you're going to see price increases as well as availability on things having a little bit of a lead time to them. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on in another part of our industry, the lack of raw material to get these things built and to get them to the consumer themselves. Okay, so when talking about Kubota Canada and their parts, they have been fantastic. I really got to give props to Curdy Hannah and her team. They've been doing a fantastic job of getting parts out. Again, that's not to say that they haven't been dealing with some issues there. Again, they're dealing with a high demand and low supply like everything else, but their fill rate has not dropped. They've done an excellent job. What we are seeing is more delays in the courier system of what used to be overnight now is upwards of 3-4 days before it arrives in our hands. So Kubota has done a fantastic job of keeping that fill rate up there and keeping our shelves full, as well as being able to get the units fixed in the back and getting them back to our customers. So really good job on their end of keeping that fill rate up and keeping a lot of customers happy. So yeah, so don't really expect any delays. It can be hit or miss about a few of the more rare items out there, but overall very impressive job by them. So whenever we're talking about the Kubota tractor lineup, they're all available. The Kubota hasn't cut down ordering on anything like that. As you'll see at your local dealer, you know, they may have under-ordered or over-ordered depending on supply and demand, what they could get, when it arrived. Everybody across the board is seeing a lot of demand. It's best to expect a little bit of a wait time for getting your new unit. You know, the BX23Ss are extremely difficult to get right now and will be for all of Canada. You're probably not going to be able to walk into your local dealership and see one, let alone purchase one, for upwards of 2 months. So be prepared for that on some units. Everything Kubota has been sending to us has been ordered. Again, we are seeing delays. You know, our order times have really spiked as this demand has increased and increased. You know, it used to be a 6-month reorder point. Now we're dealing with, on some units, up over 12 months reorder points. And that also follows along with the implements that we talked about with Land Pride. Well, the Kubota ones are following the same idea with the snow blowers and mower decks have really been pushed out there. So something that used to be in inventory now is a reorder point of 4 to 6 months. So yeah, so be prepared for that. You know, in Canada, we have something called dealer transfers. It does happen quite a bit where you're moving around units from dealer to dealer. We're doing it a lot now. If you're going to your dealership and you know they don't have that in stock, it's not that they can rush out there and just grab one from another dealer. It's dealer trading. It can be difficult to be done. Again, we're not dealing with 1 or 2 units. It can be upwards of 5 to 10 a week that you're trading. It's really not going to speed anything up, but it does fill every order that's out there. So it is an option for the dealer to kind of utilize to potentially help out if they're able to. So that brings us to the end of a long-winded conversation about what is and isn't available in Canada for inventory shortages. So if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below.